Why is it that for some people, the biggest purchase of their lives ends up being their biggest source of stress? And I'm not talking about the whole buying process or the moving, but rather the day-to-day living inside of it. In this video, we're going to cover a couple of bullet points that will try to answer this question, because it's never really about one big thing, but rather a combination of smaller ones that nobody actually warns you about. Let's start with the one that nobody really likes to admit out loud, which is you bought a home you couldn't really afford. Not in a reckless or irresponsible way, but maybe the bank approved you. Maybe it felt manageable on paper, or maybe everyone around you was doing it, so you just jumped straight into it because the fear of missing out. And now every month there's this number, and that number may be fine until the car needs work, or somebody gets sick, or just simply you had a bad month. All of a sudden this number stops being fine and actually just becomes everything. Here's the thing nobody tells you about when signing the papers. A home that stretches you financially will not just affect your bank account, it will affect the way you live. When signing a mortgage, the most important factor is figuring out the relationship between your income to mortgage pay. Figuring this out is key because a bank is likely to approve you of a much bigger loan than you actually need, because it earns them thousands more in interest over the years. To keep this income to mortgage pay ratio balanced, it is recommended that your pay should not be more than 25%, meaning that if your take-home pay is $10,000 after taxes, your mortgage payment should not be more than 2.5K each month. Or if you're earning $5,000, it should not be more than 1.25K, and on and on and on. If you exceed that 25%, when an emergency comes, which will come, this will start taking all over your income, which will lead to stress. And that stress will not just manifest in one day, but it'll start building up over time. If you're not American, you might not be familiar with who Dave Ramsey is. He's a personal finance expert, radio host for over 30 years, teaching people how to build wealth and get out of debt. Very loud voice in the finance niche. One of the key principles Dave Ramsey has been teaching for these 30 years is the idea of a mortgage-free life. And not only just having a home, but actually owning it without the bank being able to just claim it for you. And this might sound crazy, but we do know nowadays, and we actually just accepted that mortgages tend to just be on average 30 years. We always just plan the 30-year mortgage. A mortgage-free home drops your monthly cost of living significantly. This means that if you have a bad year, that is not really going to affect. It is going to allow you to save up more money and be able to invest that money into other investments, which is going to lead to this financial stress just overly gone. A mortgage, in my opinion, should be treated as a problem to solve rather than just something that is just meant to be there forever in your life. Because the moment you stop thinking about it as a monthly payment and just think about it as a clock, the way that you relate to your home and feel about it inside of you changes. Okay, this next one might actually just be slept on and you might not really even think about it, but it is there daily in your life. Your floor plan is not made for you. And I don't mean in an architectural sense. I mean in just a more practical one, like the kitchen just being overly big, or the table that is just always in the way, or even the office that is always near the bathroom, which just everybody uses, so it's constantly just noisy, right? A human being needs at least 20 minutes to fully focus and lock in. If every 15 minutes these distractions come, you're never really able to enter flow state, which basically means that you will just be focused solely on that one task. So that is going to impact, obviously, your performance and your way of living because you're constantly being interrupted by these things or just overly annoyed and frustrated by them. We move into spaces and we adapt our way of living and we rearrange around the geometry that we already have. We have certain walls in our homes that we just cannot change, sadly. But what we can change is the arrangement of the space. Because luckily you can just go to IKEA and get a better table that just suits better for you and it is a little bit shorter so that you can just walk more freely and it is not constantly in your way because it just constantly bothers you, right? And if you have these problems, I 100% recommend that you just go and change them because these are things that you can actually just change in your home that are constantly building frustration around your head and just in the way that you're living your life. And these build up over time into a much bigger stress that you don't even know where it's coming from. There's this YouTube channel that I came across recently. His name was Noah Daniel. He's been doing these videos about fixing floor plans from the perspective of an interior designer that cares so much about the space and how each space kind of talks to each other to make the whole house feel connected as one. Like one singular house rather than just a bunch of rooms and spaces joined together. I don't know how else to describe it, but that's just kind of like the logic of it. And I really recommend watching these videos to understand this concept, and also they're incredibly relaxing, so I'll just leave them in the description. But I think he does an incredible job at pinpointing exactly what things really bother us, like in general as human beings, about our houses and how we kind of just live around them, and how some things might just not be really practical or just uncomfortable as human beings, but we don't really understand them or even see them because we never really even think about our spaces anymore. We just think of how beautiful a house looks from a color palette perspective or just how the furniture looks, but we don't really think about how we actually just live inside the space. Sometimes the thing that stresses you out is just how big your space actually feels. And I'm not critiquing in a luxury way because you can already find that video in my channel. I'll just try to link it over there. But rather in a human or psychological way. There is research that suggests that humans feel most comfortable in spaces that feel proportional to their presence. Spaces where you feel like you fill the room instead of like disappearing in it. And I don't know about you guys, but I get this exact feeling when I walk into that IKEA warehouse, right? When you already finish all the hallways and there's these shelves that are like 50 meters tall. I feel overwhelmed like so much because I just feel super, super small. And that is just human nature. And not to talk about the fact also that when a home is bigger, there's just more to clean. So there's obviously going to be more anxiety and stress over that as well. In a grand scheme of things, scale does matter, and when we feel small in our own homes, we do feel small as well inside. And that is how we just lose our connection with our space in our home entirely. So why does your home actually stress you out? It may be the number at the end of the month that you just see in your bill and you're just scared of it. Or it might just be the frustration of these corners or these tables or this furniture that is just not really right for your way of living. But if you're watching this video, it might just be that it's always a combination of a couple of these things all joined up together that you cannot really pinpoint that. So I really do hope that this video helped you really understand what to focus on when you're thinking about your home and the way that you're living inside of it. The biggest takeaway, in my opinion, from this video is to just take action. If there's something bothering you in your home that is just making you feel like it's not yours and it is constantly bringing you stress in your day-to-day life, take action against it. Whether it is the mortgage, whether it is the space that is unused. So maybe you try to downgrade a home or just try to think about what you can really do that is going to be useful and help you. Because the relationship between you and your home is more complicated than just a simple conversation because it is just you. You cannot really talk to your home. So you have to really think about what it is that is bothering you and try to make it yours.